Munson with Munson Music. I want to talk about how you can play a song called The Big Bang by Katy. And we end up kind of starting on our intro progression around a G minor chord. And normally you do this as a 3rd fret bar, 3rd finger on the A string 5th, pinky on the D string 5th. You strum all those together, it sounds a G minor chord, and it sounds really, really sad. You may also want to think about lifting off the pinky, making that a G minor 7. Or if you're just starting out, you can make that a smaller G minor by just making it a smaller bar. Actually, the top 2 or the top 3, top 4 strings is still a G sharp or a G minor. Or you could use a power chord, where you do 1st finger on the low E 3rd, 3rd finger on the A string on the 5th fret. If you're starting out, that might be kind of a cool way to kind of work it too. It's just a power chord idea. And there's a couple different strumming options you could work through the tune. Actually, you could even just work kind of a down, kind of an idea. And I'm adding a little bit of muting to that with the right hand. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And we end up kind of doing 4 of those G's at the very beginning. Or one of my favorite strum patterns for a 4/4 like this is down, down, up, down, up. So if you take the G minor, just try that a lot. You have down, down, up, down, 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 up, down, 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 up, down, up. So you might kind of dig on that, kind of working that way. Or what I think really kind of is the feel of the tune is something called a 16th note strum pattern. And what I mean by that is if you're tapping your foot to the beat, right now we're kind of dividing that beat into 2 parts with our down, down, up, down. 1, 2, 1, 2, and that's called an 8th note. What a 16th note is where you divide that into 4 parts. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. And randomly there's another G chord cheat that could be cool to use, where you could do the 2nd finger on the low E 3rd, 3rd finger on the B 3rd, pinky on the high E 3rd. And if you kind of take your 1st finger, you can almost kind of mute out the A string. It's kind of like big G5 or G power chord. So if you kind of dig on that might be a little bit easier to hold down to practice this strum pattern. So what you would do with the 16th idea is you do a down for 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. That's what you'd be doing on the 1st beat. Then on the 2nd beat, you'd be doing a down on 1, down on 3, up on 4. So you'd be going 1, 2, 3, 4, down, 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 up. Then on the 3rd beat, you do an up on 2, down on 3s. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, up, down, 1, up, down. Down, up, down, up, right along with the 1, 2, 3, 4. So down, up, down, up, down, 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 down. So all together, you got down, 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 down. So kind of a cool idea through that too. And then from that intro, then we're going into our main verse. We start on the G minor chord. But then we go to a C minor chord. And normally you do this as a 3rd fret bar, 2nd finger on the B string, 4th fret, 3rd finger on the D 5th, pinky on the G 5th. Strum all those together, that sounds like a C minor chord. Now you may also want to think about lifting off the pinky and making that a C minor 7. Or you could even add in the high E on the 6th fret, kind of for a C minor. Or you might want to dig on a C minor 9, where you do 1st finger on the D 1st fret, 2nd finger on the A 3rd fret. I don't know if that's a stretch. But then 3rd finger over the G, B, and E string on the 3rd fret. That might be kind of a cool option too, kind of working the C minor on that way. Or another option would be taking the G minor bar shapes that we were doing and then sliding those to 8th fret for a C minor that way. Or even lifting off the pinky and making that a C minor 7. So kind of dig on that for C option. Or you could use the C5 power chord, which you could do 1st finger on the A 3rd, 3rd finger on the D 5th for a C5, or you could work the low E on the 8th, 10th fret on the A string for a C5. So you can just kind of make that a power chord idea. Remember that G to the C, and then we go to a D major chord right after that. When we play D major, normally you do this 1st finger on the G 2nd, 2nd finger on the high E 2nd, 3rd finger on the B 3rd, and if you strum the D string of the high E string, oh, the beautiful sounds of D major. Now you may also want to think about making this a D7, where you do 1st finger on the B string 1st fret, 2nd finger on the G 2nd fret, 3rd finger on the high E 2nd fret, kind of working that for your D. Or you could work this as kind of a power chord idea by doing 1st finger on the A 5th, 3rd finger on the D7, it's kind of a D5 power chord. Or you may gravitate towards a D9, where you could do 1st finger on the D 4th fret, 2nd finger on the A 5th, 3rd finger of the G, B, and E, kind of working that for the D9. If you kind of dig on that, I definitely dig on that. And then from from the D, we go back to our G minor chord, and then we go back to our C minor, and then our G minor, but then we go to an A major chord. And the way we play A major, first finger goes to the D second, second finger on the G second, third finger on the B second, and if you strum all those together, that sounds an A major chord that sounds really happy. Now you may also want to think about lifting the second finger, making that an A7 chord, kind of working it that way. Or you could work this as a power chord by doing first finger on the low E fifth, third finger on the A string 7 for an A5. Or you could work this as a bar, like kind of a 5th fret bar. Second finger on the G 6th fret, third finger on the A7, pinky on the D7 for an A major. Or you could lift off the pinky and make that an A7. Or you could add in the pinky on the B8 for an A7. If you kind of dig on that. So a lot of different options, but I'm the option guy. And then from A7 we'd be going to our D, and then kind of from there we'll kind of be going into our chorus part. So you can do that with any of those strumming options, actually, kind of that G minor, C minor, D, G minor, C minor, G minor, A7, then we'll be going into our chorus part, which kind of mixes up a lot of those chords. You could work any of those strumming options that way too. You kind of C minor, G minor, D, G minor, C minor, G minor, D, G minor, and then from there, then we'll be going into our next verse. Now, one other thing I think about adding to the song, though, is bass notes. And a lot of times on that first down of the down, down, up, down, down, up, down, up, you can throw in a bass note for the chord. So you can make it kind of a bass. Down, up, down, up, bass. Down, up, down. So on the G minor, you'd have low E for the bass. On the C minor, you'd have the A for the bass. On the D, you'd have the D for the bass. Unless you're doing the D9, in which case you have the A for the bass. And on the A, you'd have the A for the bass. Unless you're doing the A7 bar, then you'd have low E for the bass. So we took that next verse as kind of a bass, down, up, down, up. You have the G minor, C minor, G, G minor, C minor, G minor, A7, D. Or if you're digging on the 16th pattern, you could work it off the bass, down, down, up, down, down, up, down, or bass, bass, down, down, up, down, down, up, down, or bass, bass, down, down, up, bass, down, up, down. Can all be cool options. So we tried that through the verse. You got the G minor, C minor, D, G minor, C minor, G minor, A7, D, and then from there we'll be going into our chorus part. So for our chorus adding basses, we have that C minor, G minor, D, G minor, C minor, G minor, D, G minor, and then from there we'll be going into our bridge part. On our bridge, all of a sudden the G gets happy. Oh man, so we'd be going to a G major. And normally you do this first finger on the A second, second finger on the low E third, third finger on the high E third. And if you strum all those together, that sounds a G major chord. It sounds really happy. Now you could put the third finger on the B third, pinky on the high E third. Now work that for your G. Or you may gravitate towards a G7 sound, where you can do first finger on the high E first fret, second finger on the A second fret, third finger on the low E third for a G7. Or you could use your G5 power chord, which still works. Or you could do this is a third fret bar. Second finger on the G fourth fret, third finger on the A fifth, pinky on the D fifth. Kind of work that A shape we were doing now from third fret for G major. Or you could lift the pinky and make that a G7. Or you could add in the pinky on the B string 6th fret and kind of make that a G7 that way. And then from the G7 we go to C minor, another C minor, then we go to an F major chord, and we play F major. Normally you do this as a first fret bar, second finger on the G second fret, third finger on the A third, pinky on the D third. So it's that same shape we were just doing for the A and the G. Now if you're just starting out, a good substitute for that can be F major 7, where you do the first finger on the B first fret, second finger on the G second fret, third finger on the D third fret. And if you strum the D string to the high E string, that sounds an F major 7 chord, which is very, very cool, hip, groovy, cool happiness. Or you could do F major 7 a different way by doing first finger on the low E first fret, second finger on the B first fret, third finger on the D second, pinky on the G second. Kind of working that for your F major 7, a little bit more kind of a jazzy, cool root 7-3-5 voicing for F major 7. Or you could use an F5 power chord, where you do first finger on the low E first fret, third finger on the A string on the third fret, and kind of work that. So if you wanted to, you could even just kind of make that a power chord idea. And then from the F we go back to our G, and then we go to our C, and more C, and then we go to F, and D, kind of very end of our bridge, or so we think, but it kind of goes back into the verse idea. G, C, kind of a G minor hit at the very, very end. So we could really do that with any of those strum patterns too. G major, G major, C minor, C minor, F major, and then G major. We got our C minor, C minor. And then from there, then we go into our last chorus. So we had our G minor, or back on the, and then we stop. And then from there, then we'd be going into our last chorus. So we have our C minor, G minor, D9, G minor, C minor, G minor, D, G minor. And then from there, then we'll be going back into kind of a little piece of our intro for our outro. Kind of our G minor, more G minor, and kind of a big G minor, very, very end. But that's the basics of how you can strum through the Big Bang by Katy. So good luck.